What's going on? This your boy, Chris Simmons, coming to you with another podcast episode. And as always, I'm with my favorite co-host of all time, Miss Tiffany Chanel. What's going on with your girl? How you doing?
What's up? What's up? How are you? I am feeling amazing and blessed over here. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good. It's been a pretty smooth, easy, relaxing day. Caught up on some sleep. I feel like I was a little sleep deprived, man. Cause I was tired, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just felt extra tired this morning. Like I woke up, did my yoga. I did my yoga today. I
Right.
took another
Yeah.
class. I did a different class this time. I did a moderate yoga class, same instructor, but it was just kind of a different feel. So the last time I did, so last week it was more strength training, so we worked with weights. This time it wasn't with weights. It was more like flexibility, mobility, stuff like that. So
Nice.
it was real good. But I didn't get. I woke up at like yeah, what time I wake up? Around 8 o'clock. Woke up around 8 o'clock because I got back last night at like 2. And the reason was because on Friday, one of my boys from Cleveland hit me up. He called me yesterday and was like, "Hey man, what you doing later?" I said, "Nothing much. What's going on?" He said, "Hey man, they having this rib fest." So I went up to a rib fest up in Cleveland, Ohio. It's more in the Bedford area. So if you're from Cleveland, you probably familiar with Bedford, Ohio. You know that little area out there. They had like a little rib fest yesterday. So I actually went up to Cleveland. Had some pretty good ribs up there. So they had like 3 stations. They had like 3 rib stations. Uh, I think the best one was the Kansas City style ribs. So that's where everybody was lined up at. So I said, me being my first time there, I was like, I gotta try some of this. It's pretty good ribs. I wouldn't say they're the best ribs, but they were good for being at a rib festival. I know that stand, that whatever that stand was over there, they were known for having some of the best ribs in the area. They travel, do different shows, so it was a good experience. So yesterday I had a really good time with my boys. Got to chill, hang out with them. And then yeah, I stayed out there late. I didn't get back to like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up at 8. So that's about 6 hours sleep right there because I remember having my yoga class at 9, and then when I got back, I was out. I went back to sleep. I had some breakfast, went back to sleep, and then got up, went about the rest of my day, and now I'm here, man. So you already know what
Sounds
it
really
is.
nice. Sounds dope. Sounds like a pretty good day.
Oh yeah, no, it was a pretty smooth day. Didn't do a whole lot today because yesterday, like I said, I went up all the way up to Cleveland, but it was more just kind of just staying around the apartment, just kind of
How
um,
far is Cleveland from you?
Cleveland. So I'm in Kent. So for those of you who probably don't know, I'm in Kent, Ohio. So Cleveland from Kent is around 45 minutes away. So
Okay, that's not too far.
no, it's not. It's not far at all. I mean, I take that drive all the time. Like I said, to go see my dudes up there. So yeah, it was pretty good. Like I always enjoy going up there. There's a lot more to do up there than there is in Kent. So that's why I always go up to Cleveland. If we ever plan to do something, hang out, we always go up to Cleveland. I have no problem with that. So, but yeah, it's been an eventful weekend. And now I'm here, and we're ready to do this Toxic Tuesday segment. So you already know what that means. It's going to be Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany's going to take the lead, and she has an interesting topic for y'all. So I'm gonna just go ahead, be quiet, and let Miss Tiffany do her thing. So Miss Tiffany, you go ahead, take it away.
Hello, hello, everybody. Today's topic that we're going to discuss is how to stop people from stealing your joy. Everybody has those joy stealers somewhere in their circle, in their surroundings. It could even be the checkout lady at the local grocery store. You avoid going to her line because her attitude is just so draining, so negative. Or it could be that cousin that you avoid inviting to a cookout or a birthday party. Or it could just be your in-laws. It could be a coworker. It could be anybody that you try to avoid from stealing your happiness. When you're having a happy day, say, you know, You had some great news. You got promoted at work. It's like you have your favorite people that you want to tell. You want to tell them like, oh my God, I got promoted today. Oh my gosh. And then there's the people you like, man, I ain't going to tell them. They're going to have something negative to say, like, ask me about how much I get paid and what I'm doing. Someone that's just going to throw that adversity in there and say they're playing devil's advocate. They just want to put, a little damper on there. And you got to stop avoiding those people, because avoidance basically leads you to not being able to grow. It hinders your growth. You can't expand, learn your lessons, and gain your power. The whole point is to get your power back. And your power is through your happiness, through your joy. So if you don't accept your weaknesses, you can't gain any strength. So by approaching these situations head on, that's the way that you can keep your joy, keep your power, and gain your strength. So how do we do this? I'm going to tell you how we do this. Okay. We are going to show compassion, because you're going to respond rather than react. Because when you react to a situation, it's almost like instant. You don't think about it. It's really not who you are. You're actually reacting based off of that person's energy. So if they're reacting to you in a negative way, if, every time you walk into work, Jimmy says, something negative about how you look, disrespecting your outfit every time you come to work and say, why are you looking like that? You look funny, but today you feel good about yourself. You don't want to see him. So what do? You respond instead of react. You got to assess the situation, realize that you are in control. You have to take control of your life. And compassion is a negativity killer. Acknowledge the trigger and set the tone for your interaction. You don't let them set the tone. If you know he's going to say something about your outfit and say, you look funny looking today, you lead. Say, hey, man, I like your outfit today. It looks real good. Jimmy, you always styling, man. I got my points from you today. I tried extra hard so I could be like you, man. You think like, hey, that's doing a lot or nothing like that, or you think it's doing too much, but you showing someone else love, that Jimmy is only telling you that because he doesn't like the way he looks. When you can understand the situation and understand the inner wounds that people are projecting, you then want to heal that situation by showing love and compassion for that person's wound. Think of approaching Jimmy or anybody in your life that throws negativity in your way that you try to avoid. Think of them as a child. How would you talk to your child or your little brother or your little sister? Because all of us are healing from inner child wounds. All of us, we have inner child wounds of some sort. And that could be his wound. He was teased. He could have been bullied. You don't know. Jimmy at work seems so confident and cocky. He's in everybody's face, but it's projecting, he's projecting inner wounds. When you can use your inner wisdom and your knowledge to assess the situation and realize that what Jimmy says is not about you, it's about how he feels about himself. Most people project the things that they feel about themselves, the negative things that they say, oh, well, you're ugly, you're fat, you're this, or, you're never going to amount to this, or someone that just always has a negative diversion to your dream. You want to be a basketball player. They think that you shouldn't try to do that because you can get injured. Try at least being a referee if you want to be involved in basketball. They're just trying to just put you down. And that's because they don't believe in themselves. If they're not believing in your dreams, they don't believe in themselves. If they're talking about how you look, they don't like how they look. If they're talking about your amount of money that you're making in your living circumstances, 9 times out of 10, they don't like theirs. And the first thing you think of is, who are they to talk? And then you want to attack them. And now you are just being just as ugly as they are. And now you're adopting that negative energy into your body. We're all just energy, and when you're putting that type of negative energy out, it's a killer. It kills someone's soul. It kills them emotionally, mentally, it affects everybody differently, whichever one they let lead their life. If you let your emotions lead your life, you don't hurt that person emotionally. If they lead with their mind, mess them up mentally. It just depends on the person. But either way, it's an attack that is unnecessary when we're all made from the love of God. We all must spread love and light. That's what God would want from us, because that's what God is, love and light. You can't walk with God and then put down his children, your brothers and sisters. You can't do that. That's not how it works. You don't receive abundance and blessings and peace and prosperity. You don't receive those things through attacking one another. Negativity is a killer. It kills parts of us, different parts of us. And it's not for us to judge what part is deemed necessary to be hurt, because none of the parts do. We all are healing. We all have inner wounds that are sore. And sometimes we all handle them differently. So when you lead and show compassion by responding instead of reacting, then you will receive your love, and your light stays within you. In order to receive love, you must give it. And that's how you do it. You got to forgive yourself for even thinking those things. Man, I shouldn't even thought about it. I don't know what Jimmy going through. He could have something going on in the house. When you remove yourself from the situation and not think and live in vain, and you can see things for what it is and use your understanding, your inner wisdom to assess what is coming at you. Things are not happening to you. They're happening for you. They are lessons. They're lessons for you to grow from. You have to have a different perspective on how you channel negativity in order to keep your happiness. You are letting your happiness and your joy be stolen from you because you're giving it away. So it's like you're just a robber don't have to come. They come up with the gun and the head mask, and they don't even have to say, give me your money. You just hand it to them because they have the outfit on. You don't even know if they was going to try to take it. You're already in that mindset when you're avoiding being around that person. You're avoiding confronting how that situation makes you feel. You don't have to say, hey, Jimmy, I don't like how you talk about my clothes, but you could just divert the situation and use love and positivity. Use love and compassion and understanding and kindness to one another. Because 9 times out of 10, Jimmy is distracted. That done embedded into his subconscious mind that you liked his outfit. And he probably been wanting a compliment for his outfit all year. And no one ever said nothing. So he picked on everybody else because he felt he didn't dress good enough, because he got teased. You don't know anybody's situation. I'm using that as an example of one of the things that many of us are facing out here in the world. And we must show love and compassion in order to keep the joy. You can't keep something that you're not willing to keep. You don't want it, you give it away. But everybody says they want to be happy. Happiness is a choice. We must choose it at every time in every situation. So stop letting negativity steal your joy. It is a killer, and you're letting it kill you. You can kill negativity with compassion and love, because we all have it within us. You want to receive it, you must give it.
Okay. That was an interesting take on that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think that Miss Tiffany took an approach where it was like, you know what? If somebody's coming at you, you should maybe, talk with them about what their problem is. That's one way to do it.
Don't talk to them about, I wouldn't say don't talk to them. No, don't talk to them about their problem. Assess their problem mentally and have a non-judgment zone perspective on the situation and show them love and compassion. Instead of if someone leaves you with an insult, you come back with a compliment. Compliment them.
So kind of like come at him opposite is what you're
right.
saying. So talk to him. So essentially you are saying something, but just not like you're not giving that negative energy back. You kind of trying to respond to him. That's what I was trying to say. Like,
yes, not returning
it. Way.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't confront people on their issues. I wanted to make that clear that you kind of use your own inner wisdom and knowledge to assess from thinking of a place bigger than yourself and your feelings being hurt by what Jimmy says to you every day. Take yourself out of that equation and look at it in the bigger picture and have more compassion for others.
So kind of like that Bible verse that I read yesterday. I think it was in Luke. Well, let me pull it up. I think it was Luke chapter 6 verse 35. Let me see if it matches up. I'm gonna pull that real quick. Luke chapter 6. That's the beauty of having the phone Bible app on your phone. You can just pull it right up instead of flipping through.
Great.
Talking about, I think Miss Tiffany was trying to come at it like this: but love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return, and your reward will be great. Something like love thy enemy. So that's what it sounds like to me. Love thy enemy.
Love everyone. Yes.
Yeah. Now, yes, you should do that. I mean, obviously, take a different approach. I mean, instead of receiving that negative energy back, bring with positive energy, man. Because what it will do is it'll shock them. It'll shock them because they'll be expecting you to retaliate. But then when you come back with a compliment, they'll be like, "What?" They're like, "Bruh, like do you not hear what I'm trying to tell you? Like that's what you come back at me with? Like I just said you was ugly." But you're gonna come at me and say, you know what, you look good today. It's gonna throw them off balance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's one way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at it. When somebody tries to come at me negative, I just be like, oh, thank you. Just be like, oh, thank you for that. Appreciate it. And just move on. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm like, your opinion don't have to, get in my head. Your opinion about me does not affect me. You know what I'm saying? So I like that perspective. Now here's what I think. Here's what I got. I got my own points of how to deal with negativity from, friends, family, whatever. There might be some people in your life that, are just always bringing you down. They're always filling your mind with negativity and just fear. A lot of that negativity can cause fear. You know what I'm saying? Even though fear is made up, it's just you thinking the worst case scenario about yourself. But that's what it do. I mean, it can, people who talk to you negative, it can trigger fear, anxiety, depression, all these mental illnesses that you didn't even know about. But that's what they do because it just makes you feel like you have a low self-esteem. So here's one way to do it. Here's one way I deal with it. Now it could be different. Everybody deals with it different. But I know for me, one thing I do, like I think Miss Tiffany was talking about removing yourself. That was the number one thing that I had on my list. Remove yourself from the negative situation. You got it. If you are surrounded by negativity, you just got to separate yourself from that negativity, bro. It's like this. If you walk in, it's like if you walk into a room and it smell bad, what you think you're gonna do? You're gonna evacuate that room because you don't want to be in that room where it's smelling bad. Like if somebody passed gas, what do? You move from that area because you ain't trying to smell that boy, right? So it's kind of like that. If somebody is letting off toxic energy, you gotta remove yourself and you gotta separate yourself. It don't matter that they your family, they your best friend. You know what I'm saying? You can't have that constantly in your ear every single day. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, you got to make that choice of who you surround yourself with. It's very simple. Just walk away. If somebody is literally constantly beating you down, trying to make you feel less than, just get up. Why do you have to sit there and take it? You have a choice. You have a choice of who you listen to, right? And what you listen to is what you respond to. You know what I'm saying? So if you continue to listen to somebody who says you're ugly, you're no good, you're not worth it, then that's what you're going to continue to listen to. You're going to listen to that, and that's how you're going to respond. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be afraid to go out in public because of what that person said about your outfit. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be constantly hearing that. Just get up and leave. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in a household with family who all they do is pick on you and you're an adult, okay? You have the option to move out. I mean, what they gonna do? How they gonna stop you? You have to be able to just move out of that situation. Don't feel like you gotta be in that house. Just make it happen. Use your wings and fly. You know what I'm saying? Use your wings, go out there and soar, bro. Soar, baby. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. Don't be scared to fall. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out here and live your best life. So removing yourself from that situation. If you're at an event, you're at a party, you know what I'm saying? And it's just not what you expected. It's just a whole bunch of craziness going on there. You have that option to leave that scenario and be able to do your own thing. That's what I do all the time. If I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I'm gonna say, you know what, bro? I appreciate you, but you know what? I'm gonna go somewhere else. I don't have to sit here and deal with that. That's the easiest thing. Stop feeling like you gotta be tied down to be able to listen to that person every single day. It's so easy. Just get up and walk. You got 2 feet, just walk. Get up out of there. That's one way to do it. Remove yourself from that situation. Number two, you gotta know your value. You gotta know your value. There was a powerful statement that was made by my pastor, Eric Petrie. Like this was like I think it was back in 2020. He had this message about rejection. I wrote it down because I always love to take notes while I'm listening to sermons, and I'll never forget this. I might have shared this on my one of my episodes, but I'm going to share it again. When you know your value, you don't get bothered by people's opinions. So if you know who you are You know, internally, if you know who you are, you know what I'm saying, and you know what type of value you God has created you to have, what that other person saying, what your mama saying, what your best friend saying, what your brother saying, you know what I'm saying, what your boss saying, all them people that are saying that you are no good, or that you will never be able to make it in whatever you want to make it in. If you know that God has called me to do this, if you know the value that God has placed on your life, that all that other stuff that people talking about, it won't matter, because you already know in your mind that God has called you to do something great, and that God does not leave empty promises. So if you know that, if you know who you are, you know what you've been called to do, none of that stuff that people saying, none of that negative stuff people saying about you will even matter. It won't even affect you. Like for me, like when somebody's coming at me and trying to, you know, challenge my views, challenge my values, because maybe I don't do some of the same things they do, I don't get bothered by it anymore, because I know who I am. And that's the problem. If you don't know who you are, it's hard for you to really, you know, have a set value system. It's very hard for you to stick to your values if you don't have none. If you don't know who you are as a person, it's hard for you to really have a stance on who you are, because you look at other people to define who you are when God has already defined who you are. So once you figure out your value system, then you got to stay in your lane. You got to stay in your lane. See, when you driving, right? See, what I learned in driving school when I was 15 years old, 15 and a half, you know, when I got my temps, had to go to school and everything, right? There's solid lines and there's dash lines. See, when you're on the highway, right, you can change lanes. You can change from one lane to another lane, you know what I'm saying? Because they're dash lines. Usually the dash lines mean you can cross. But the solid line, what I learned about the solid lines, you can't cross that boy. Why? Because traffic's going in the opposite direction. So you cannot cross no matter what. If you got solid yellow lines in between the road, you cannot cross over, because what's going to happen? If you cross over, chances are you're going to get in a crash. So what you need to do, you got to create some solid lines around you. Don't let no haters cross in your lane, because if they cross in your lane, what's going to happen? You're going to crash. You're going to crash your vehicle. So if you allow those haters in your life to crash your vehicle, that's going to be detrimental. So what you have to do is, once you remove yourself, you figure out who you are, you got to be able to go out and be able to stay in your lane. Stay focused on what you want to do in life. Once you have a strong why, once you have a strong purpose of what you want to do, none of that's going to affect you, because you're going to be too busy working. You're going to be too busy working on your dream, working on yourself, that you ain't going to have time for all them people who's going to come at you sideways. Because that's just going to give you a stronger purpose to be able to achieve something great. And even when you do, once you become, you know, this big thing that you want to be in life, they ain't going to go away. They're just going to hate you even more. But you know what? All you got to do, cover your ears. If you cover your ears, you're going to hear your voice more than you hear their voice. And I'm telling you, once you reach that level of success, it's not going to bother you. You just have to know how to deal with it. You just have to know how to manage it. But you'll be so busy living your best life that you ain't have time to be worried about what they doing. So you got to get to that point in your life where you just blocking them out, right? And that's coming up with solid lines. You got to stay in that lane. Don't let nobody cross over to your lane. Because if you letting all these people cross to your lane, all you asking for is a crash. You just asking for a beat. You're just asking for a beating. That's what you're asking for. You're asking for that negativity in your life that you don't need. Stop letting people cross over in your lane. Stay in your lane and stay focused on your grind. Stop worrying about that negativity in your life. Stop letting your life be filled with negative people. Find you some new people to be around. And if it's family, listen, it's all, I mean, family is family. One thing that I've learned is that you can't pick your family, but you can pick your friends. That's one thing. You can love your family, but you don't gotta like them. You can love your family, but sometimes there's just people in your family that just don't like you. That's just what it is. It's family. But that don't mean just because they family that you got to feel obligated to be around that negativity, especially if they always like that. You can find you some good people out here in this world who will accept you for who you are and will love the type of swag, the type of values that you have. That's why it's important. Families one thing, but also having really good friends because you can pick your friends. You can pick who you want to hang around. The problem is sometimes you might be picking the wrong people to hang around. So you got to really know who is in line with your values. Who is it that you can be around that's going to take you further in life for somebody who's always going to be in your ear telling you no, telling you no. So like I said, three things you got to do. Move yourself, okay? Don't be afraid to step out. Don't be afraid to go out and do what you've been called to do. Know your value. Know the type of value God has placed in your life. And then once you know that value, stay in your lane. Just stay on the path that God has for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be crossing over. Don't be crossing over into them lanes where them people at, where them haters at. That's the hater lane. Stay out that lane. You want to attract the greatness. So just remember those three things, man. If you can do those three things, bro, you can really hone in on that. I'm telling you, bro. You ain't gonna be worried about what people gotta say. You just gonna be so busy focusing on what you gotta do. That's just gonna be non-existent, bro. It's gonna be another voice. So that's all. That's really what I got for y'all, man. Miss
Well, that's
Tiffany, you wanna what'd you think of that? What'd you
well,
think?
you made some really good points, and definitely for people that you come in, people that you have constant contact with. I could see if you're being abused, like if someone is not just being negative, like a Debbie Downer to you, but if they're abusing you, like as Chris was mentioning, like, come at you every day in your ear, someone that you live with, I do suggest, considering, getting out of that situation. That situation is now abusive. It's harmful. But when you are encountering people on a day-to-day basis, we can't avoid people. We're always going to find people, and not everybody's nice. It could be somebody at the bank. You get to the teller and she just has a nasty attitude with you. That nasty energy can be absorbed by you, and you take it, and then you just get in the car like, man, this girl's had a nasty attitude. I almost want to slap her in the face the way she talks to me. On media, everything around is going on, like the Karen situation, the quote unquote Karen. Like if you run into a Karen, that's, nobody wants to run into that. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by killing that negativity is, you know, handling it with grace, because she's going to then, our quote unquote Karen, these negativity people, these joy killers that we're speaking of, they're joy killers. They buzz around like little bumblebees to steal your joy. They're not people all the time, because the life is made up of opposites. You're never going to be going one way, facing one thing, and you can't avoid every negative person that you come in contact with. You must deal with it and stand in your power. And standing in your power is by standing in God's love and God's light, which is kindness, compassion, sincerity, and love. That person didn't do nothing to you. The random cabbie that had an attitude because he was going the wrong way, and you told him, hey, you tell the cabbie or the Lyft driver, you made a wrong turn, and they're snapping at you. Now you get to where you're going, you absorb that energy. But the way for them to keep that energy and you don't absorb that negative energy, send love, send light. Say, man, I know you didn't really understand. You're probably having a rough day. You made the wrong turn. I understand, man. Keep the peace. Hope you have a blessed day. Keeping that same positivity. Don't let someone take the joy away from you, because everybody is going through different things, as I mentioned. So when we go and we encounter different people in different situations, whether it's a bank teller, the Lyft driver, the mailman, a coworker, people that we just can't avoid, situations we can't avoid. We're not going to stop going to our favorite grocery store because the checkout lady is an a-hole, or we're not going to avoid going to our son's school because one of the moms there gives you ugly stares and tells people stuff. Always kill the situation. If the girl at school, at your kid's school is talking about you, you just come and you be nice. You kill, even though if you know she's talking, don't address, say, hey, I know you're talking about me. That's feeding the negative seed and it's growing into a plant of BS. You don't need a plant of BS. You need to go ahead and snatch the water from that seed. Do not do that. You just give love and kindness to her. So when she does talk behind your back, everyone's going to look at her like, wow, you're a big negative Nancy. She compliments you every day, you know, because you really don't have any beef with her. You don't have anything bad about her. She has a problem with you. When you realize that most people's issues that are not personal, that are not personally related to you, that you encounter, that it's a projection of their own hurt, their own pain. So don't respond or absorb. Don't react or absorb people's negative energy. Just respond in a healthy way that is authentic to who you are. If you're a genuinely nice person, don't say, have this person get you out of your character because they said or acted a funny way towards you. Because that's the first thing people say is, this person done got me out of character. Oh, no, they did. They done took me out of my character, testing my faith. People get in those modes and avoid that. Avoid that. Keep your joy. You don't even know the Lyft driver. You don't know the lady at the bank. You don't really know these people. You're always going to encounter negativity and adversity. You can't avoid it. By trying to avoid it creates a fear of it, which creates anxiety. And now we have anxiety, avoidance, and lack of growth. And that's not going to help us ascend into our life purpose, what we're here to do. It's stopping your growth immensely, emotionally, and spiritually. We have to stay focused on our true selves. And in our true selves is love, light, and happiness and peace. Everything on the outside is an illusion. It's a depiction. So think deeper into situations, think deeper into people. Don't look at their surface and take what they're throwing at you as that's all there is to them, because that's not that all there is to you. That's what you're thinking when they're saying things or treating you a certain way, that they don't understand you. So the best way for somebody to understand you is for you to understand you and understand them, because we all want to be understood. The power of understanding is knowledge. Okay. The more knowledge you gain and the more you take time to assess something and realize the situation that it is, the more wisdom you're going to gain. So when you run into something that's similar to that, you are already aware. And the best thing that we can use is our awareness. Our awareness, just intuition, just goes to, that's our protection. That's God speaking to us through our inner wisdom, our intuition. That's our guidance and our protection. So don't have any fear. You are protected. That negativity is just going to keep coming, just like it's going to keep raining. Darkness is going to come. It's not going to be sunny every day. You have to understand that without the rain, we don't appreciate the sun. And these negative people reminds you why you chose God. You don't want to feel like that. You don't want to be seen like that. Have compassion for that person. Have compassion, have kindness, like God has done with all of us, because we've all made mistakes and we've all projected a negative way. We all been a negative Nancy on one day or another. So use your understanding and your wisdom to address this negativity internally and project love, kindness, and happiness externally, because that's what's going to be returned. That's how blessings get returned. Bless those blessed unto you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I want to touch on this point real quick, because I heard you made a great point about how when you go out, there's going to be those people that is going to try to test you, right? You're going to have people that, are going to come up to you and be nasty to you. Maybe you're trying to, go to the store, pick up some groceries, right? And you got maybe somebody run into you on accident and they just take it way out of proportion. Like somebody just like, you just literally like maybe, hit them slightly with the back of your car or something. Like you just didn't happen to see them, right? Sometimes, people get that overreaction. It's not even that serious, right? But you know what? That kind of goes back to just my point, like knowing what your value is, knowing what your purpose is, right? When I go to the store and I see that type of stuff happen, I know one thing. Like if I ever encounter that, I would know, not to really get so on their level, because I know that when I go to the store, my main goal is to get food, get groceries. I'm there so I can get groceries, get up out of there. That's really why I'm going to the store. I ain't going to the store to start no problem. I ain't going to the store to, get on nobody's nerves. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go there so I can do what I got to do. Right. And if you stay focused on that, if you stay focused on, okay, what are you really there for? What is your purpose? If you stay focused on your purpose, then all that stuff that people will do to you, right, is not going to affect you as much if you know why you're there. Right. Because sometimes it's easy to, get caught up in, the stuff that people do, in all the drama and stuff that happens. Maybe like you try to deposit your check. Maybe the lady's just having a bad day and she want to come at you. I'll just be like, for me personally, I'm just like, okay, like, I'm sorry you're feeling that way, but hey, I'm here so I can deposit my check. Like, that's why I'm here. Now, maybe I might have conversation with her. Maybe I do, maybe don't. It just depends. But it doesn't help, going back and forth with that person. 'Cause what you're doing, you're not really solving anything. Right. So that's what I mean. Know your purpose, know your value. You know what I'm saying? When people come at you, know your value, know what you're worth. Because if you know that, it won't, people's negativity won't affect you. It won't affect you as much. Now it may affect you a little bit. I mean, everybody got feelings, everybody got emotions. I mean, we human. We all gonna feel it, but it's just how we're able to go forward with it. It may hurt a little bit. You may be like, ouch, like, man, you really said that about me, bruh. But then after that, it's just like, you know what? Why am I wasting time going back and forth with somebody who I'm probably not gonna see again? It's like when you're on the road, man. When you're on the road, somebody cut you off. You want to honk your horn and wave your finger out. Give them the finger. Like, for what? You ain't gonna see that person ever again. You probably ain't. You probably ain't gonna see that. What are the chances you gonna see that car again? Never. Right. So that's my thing. Is like when people got road rage. I'm like, why you got road rage, bro? Like, what are you trying to get what point are you trying to get across to a person who's probably going 70, 80 miles an hour on the highway, right? They zooming right past you, bro. It's like, you ain't gonna see him again. Why are you wasting time arguing with people who ain't you probably are not gonna see ever again in public? Unless you get numbers, you can exchange the numbers, you like, oh, let's go on the lunch date, you know what I'm saying? But chances are the people you beefing with in public, they ain't gonna want to go out with you. They ain't gonna be like, oh, let's set up some lunch date, let's go out to eat. They ain't gonna be like that. They gonna be on that type of stuff. So it's like, you know what? You gotta think. When you out, you want to test you, bro. Just know why you. Just know your purpose. If you're trying to get something to eat and somebody, on the street, want to talk sideways, you just keep walking. Just keep it moving. Just be like, you know what? I'm trying to get something to eat. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm here. I'm just trying to, stay focused on what I need to do. And if you stay focused on what you need to do, then it's not going to affect you as much. But if you let them get in your head and you choose to listen to it, it's going to affect you. You are what you listen to. You respond to what you listen to. But if you filter that out, with purpose, then you know what? You're not gonna. It's not gonna be like, you're not gonna feel that urge to be like, oh, let me square up with this dude right here. But until you get there, then every little thing people do is going to get to you until you filter out that mind and you filter out what you choose to listen to. Because your mind got a filter. Believe it or not, you got a filter in your mind. You really do. You can choose what you listen to, as a matter of fact. It's just that, some people choose to let the negativity get to them, and that's why they react so strong. But if you don't let it get to that point, then your reaction is not going to be as strong because you ain't going to have time to be, fooling with that. You ain't got time for that BS. So filter out that mind. Know your worth. Know what your purpose is, and stay focused on it. And don't let nobody bring you down.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. Miss Tiffany, you got any more to add before we guess we're about to close out? I mean, unless you
Yeah,
got something you want to say.
no, we can go ahead and close it out. I just want to say to everyone listening tonight, thank you for listening to Toxic Tuesday. And I hope that you do not let those joy killers come in and steal your joy. Spread love and light. Love you all.
There it is. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That was another great Toxic Tuesday segment. Just to remind y'all, go ahead and if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Disinfecting Your Life. No spaces, no capitals. So you can get all the updates, all our latest releases, our episode releases, and everything like that. Uh, just one announcement I want to make. I know me and Miss Tiffany were talking about doing a Facebook community page. I was working on that over the weekend, and I think I got it set up. I got to just post stuff on there. So we got our Facebook community page, Disinfect Your Life. So if you look up disinfect, I couldn't add the suffix ing. I don't know why they wouldn't let me do that. So it's just gonna be Disinfect Your Life. So if you look that up, you'll be able to find a community page. I'll be able to make some posts on there. But yeah, I got it together. I got everything together, got all the technical stuff together. Now I just got to put some stuff on it. So if you want to check us out, we'll post our events, and a bunch of other stuff. I didn't even know you could do all that. I literally just found that out from Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany was like, "Yo, let's get this Facebook community page popping." So I said, "All right." Looked into it. I was like, "Let's do it." So we got it up for y'all. Just got to make some posts on there, but I'll definitely post, some episodes on there as well for those of you who are on Facebook. So go check us out. Like I said, that's Disinfect Your Life. So yeah, we're gonna have some new stuff for y'all, man. And then we still gonna do our 3 segments. So you already know what it is. This podcast is going to a whole nother level, baby. Let's get them. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, ma'am. But all
Yes.
right, we're gonna go ahead and close it out for y'all. But like I said, this your boy, Chris Simmons, alongside co-host Tiffany Chanel. We out. Take care. We'll
Bye.
see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.